Alright guys, welcome back to the next episode on this Pokemon Go series. So, in this episode we will be going over the new Mega that is being introduced as of tomorrow, the 15th. The Pokemon is pure Ice type, so it's weak to Rock, Fighting, Fire and Steel. So what I was thinking of doing today is going over some of my best encounters and what I think I should be using to take these down. You can duo this Mega Pokemon. I think you can also solo it, but you need level 50, like, prime Pokemon to take it down. So, anyway, looking at my counters. So, there's a few on here that I would look at using. One being my Reshiram that's level 98. 98 IV. With a good moveset of Fire Fang and Overheat. That's the moveset you want on a Reshiram for dealing to Ice types and Grass types. We have a few other Pokemon we can use as well. So we do have our Charizards that we can Mega into X or Y. I would go Y just to get the dual Fire. Obviously because GLALIE would be super effective against our Dragon type. We also have the new Mega that's just come out in Blaziken. Don't know where my Blaziken Mega is, but yes. So we also have Blaziken as a Mega with Counter and Blast Burn. Really good counter to this because it's weak to both Fighting and Fire. As long as your Blaziken does have Blast Burn, you should be okay. If you did any of the raids on the Blaziken raid day, basically, it should have came with Fire Blast, I believe. Just have a look at mine. Focus Blast, Blast Burn, Focus Blast. So two of my Megas do have Focus Blast, unfortunately, and don't have Blast Burn as its move, so I will look at adding them in the future. So that's going over all the fire types you could use. Obviously, you could also use one of my favourite Pokemon for battles and stuff, which is my Ho-Oh from the Johto event. If you did do the Johto event, you'll have an Apex Shadow Ho-Oh. Hopefully you haven't purified it to get that Sacred Fire Plus Plus, because it's actually worse than Sacred Fire Plus with Shadow bonus. Like I said, other than for doing research and stuff, I would never purify Shadow Pokemon, just because they do a lot more damage. But yes, that is the fire types. I think, obviously, having Darmanitan as well, that's more of the, you're going on to the weaker side of the fire counters now. So the next typing that would be good is Fighting. So we have the Blaziken, which would be good with Counter and Blast Burn, which do the most damage. I wouldn't change Blast Burn for a Fighting type move, just because you do more damage with Blast Burn. So you do have the new Pokemon that was out last week in Terrakion. As long as it has Sacred Sword, which mine does, you should be okay to go. I think I got a 98. Yeah, a 98 IV1, so we're good to go on that if we were to use Fighting. Obviously, if you're going to use a Fighting type, you need to look at what kind of Mega you're going to use. So Blaziken would be a perfect Mega for this, because you get the boosted to Fighting and Fire. So anyone using Fighting types or Fire types in the raid will get a power boost, making it a lot easier to get more energy. So what else could we use from a Fighting type point of view? There's not actually that many. If you've got Conkeldurr, I don't think I've got one. No, I don't. So Conkeldurr would also be good. And also Lucario. As I have a 100% Lucario, I did hatch it, luckily. So I'm really, really happy with that. We're just waiting for the Mega to come out. And what other Pokemon? So we could use Rock. What kind of rock Pokemon will we use? Obviously, you're going to use a rock type Mega, which would be your Aerodactyl currently. The moves Rock Throw, Rock Slide would be probably the best to go for. But on the rock type Pokemon I'd use would be Tyranitar, Viperia. It's basically really good Pokemon that would do a lot of damage. When Tyranitar gets its Mega, it'll be outrageous for things like this. So I do have basically a load of rock type Pokemon ready to go. Obviously, we had the comm day for Gigalith, and I did get a 100% well there. So yeah, so I've got a few Pokemon ready to go. And the last typing we could look at would be Steel. Now, for me, the only Steel types I would be using would be Metagross, potentially Kartana, but I don't think it has a fast move for Steel, so probably wouldn't be the best. And also it'd be weak to GLALIE because of the Ice type on Grass. And Lucario, but I don't think he's got a good Steel move either. So for me, I would stick to Fire or Fighting. I'd miss out Rock because there's a lot more better options in Fire and also Fighting, but for me, I'd go Fire because a lot of more available Pokemon will be available to everybody in that raid. Having a Mega Fire would just make things a whole lot easier. And if you did do the Hoenn Mega Raid Day, then you want to be looking at Mega Blaziken, just because it does both. Alright guys, and on to the second part of this video. So we do have Cobalion as a 5-star raid boss. It will know Sacred Sword as its charge move, so really good, helps out this Pokemon quite a lot. This Pokemon is weak to Ground, Fire, and Fighting. I think we all know where I'm going with this. All the Pokemon that I did mention for GLALIE, Mega Blaziken, Mega Charizard, Reshiram, all good for this raid. Same things with the fighting types, so Blaziken as a Mega, Terrakion, Conkeldurr, Lucario, Machamp would also be a good one. I didn't mention him in the last one, but Machamp, if you had a Shadow or even a normal, good thing to use on Pokemon like this. So for this, I would go with Fire again. Just because it's more accessible to everyone that will be in that queue. And obviously, a lot of people go for Charizards, Blaziken because they're starters, so there'll be a lot of Pokemon that will be Mega'd, which will help everyone in that raid, and it should go down really quickly. According to this guide that I'm currently looking at, it takes 3 to 5 trainers to take this down. It should be relatively easy, if I'm honest. But yeah, give me 2 seconds just to get the GLALIE guide up again. Right, so for the Cobalion, the CP you're looking for is 1727 for a non-weather boosted Pokemon to be 100% IV, and you're looking at 2159 as a boosted CP for weather for its 100%. And for the Mega GLALIE, you're looking at 1845 for a 100% GLALIE and 2307 as its boosted CP. With all the weather in the UK at the moment, I'm going to say most likely you're going to get a boosted GLALIE over a Cobalion because it has been freezing here. Other than that, I'm going to leave this episode here because there's not really much else coming out. I believe the winter event is coming out pretty soon. Actually, we'll go over it because it is actually coming out tomorrow as well. So, you've got a debut for Shiny, so you've got Bergmite and Avalok. They will be shiny in the wild as of tomorrow as well. You've got a new costume Pikachu, which is like more of a winter weather Pikachu. Looks really cool, to be honest. I will be trying to get the shiny of that. Swine Up, always need more Mammoth Swine Candy to up mine, because I need to get one more 100% potentially. But other than that, I need it just to basically get mine up to level 50. So all the XL Candy would be great. I do also have on my account, I think my Bomber Snow is maxed. Yeah, so I'll most likely be using my Bomber Snow to get more XL Candy on that. You've got a Snow Run as well. Sphere with a costume, unless you can evolve it, it's useless. The last costume Sphere, I believe you couldn't evolve, because I did get a shiny one. Hold on. Sphere. Yeah, so it's the same costume one as before, and I got a lot of shiny Sphere. There you go. So I did get a shiny Sphere with a costume, and it can't evolve. So basically, it's just a collection item. It's useless. You've also got the Stantler with a bell, like a reindeer. That can also be shiny. Alolan Vulpix, you can also get as a shiny. And you can get a Glaceon from raids, if I remember rightly, with a new costume. So that will be cool from that point of view. Other than that, that is all that's going on. I don't believe there's any perks. There is a paid time research in the shop. Looking at my shop, it doesn't seem to be out yet, so it must come out tomorrow. So I will update that in the next video, but if you do go for it, it does cost, it says $5 USD on this guide, so I'm guessing it'll be about potentially for $3.99, £4 in the UK. So definitely keep a lookout for that. And there's also a new Santa outfit. If you're into collecting your costumes, then definitely look out for that. Other than that, that's everything from this new event and these 2 new raids. So thank you all for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I will speak to you all in the next one.